You know, we played a really tough schedule this year, and they're very impressive. I mean, they run the floor so well, and you know, I was thinking, you know, last year we played Texas A&M. I think they were ranked 12th at the time. You know, they ended up winning the thing, and I feel like they could actually be a good contender for the national championship if they stay healthy, because they've got so much depth. They play so hard, and they've got such a great, their combination is very, very good. They play so well together. So, you know, I had a lot of babies out there.
Yeah, she said 7 freshmen. You're
7
like
freshmen, and I played all of them, you know, what the heck. But, you know, we only have 3 seniors and then all freshmen and sophomores, and so it's been a pretty tough season so far. But I can just tell you this: they're going to be way up there this year. I think they have a chance to be very, very successful because just how good they are. You know, Katie does such a good job with them, and I mean, she makes them play so hard, and they run the floor. I mean, I've watched a lot of film, and I've been watching a lot of ball games, and I think as far as any team I've watched, they run the floor about as good as anybody I've seen, even better. I mean, I'm out from point guard to post. They run it hard, and it's hard to beat people because we gave up so many points in transition, and I mean, you know, I'm not saying that's where we lost the ball game, but, you know, offensive rebounds, we got out-rebounded by 3. So, you know, that wasn't that bad. But I looked at the big difference was the transition, and they just run the floor so well. I mean, I'm looking at 32, who's 6'2", and she goes from one end to the other and shoots a layup. And that's almost just unbelievable to me. But it's just their confidence and just how hard they play. I mean, I give it to them. They're tough.
You mentioned the rebounding, so that's the positive aspect you get out of it.
Yeah, well, you know, for me, I was disappointed. Actually, I was disappointed. I thought my post play was okay. Our guard play was horrendous. So that part I was disappointed in, and I ended up playing my freshmen more than I did my starters because actually they were doing just as good a job. They weren't making any dumber mistakes than my starters. But the transition offense was unbelievable. I mean, even when we were down there, they could still score. And, you know, I think 42 came down and popped 2 threes. And we had, I think, 4 people down there at the time. But, you know, we'd all went to the lane and didn't get back out on her. And, I mean, like I said, that's just, when you can score, I think they scored 44 points, you know, and off our turnovers and, you know, fast break points, they scored 25. So, I mean, you look at that, that's almost 70-something points they scored right there. And I think most of it wasn't even their pressing. I mean, we had a lot of turnovers in their press at first. We kind of calmed down on that part. But it was more just how they run the floor. They just run the floor. I mean, I can't say that we've ever played a team that run the floor that well. And I've been in this business for 36 years, so I've been in a while, but they run the floor about as good. They run the floor better than anybody I've ever seen. All of them. Every kid that got on the court, from the 6'6" kid, she runs the floor like a guard. But 32 runs the floor like a guard. They run hard. I have said that quite a few times, haven't I?
Yeah, the Michigan State coach said that Katie was just saying, Michigan State coach said that it was 1 through 5 the fastest team that she had played against.
I totally agree with that. But I think it's not just their speed; it's just how they just go hard. I mean, they push beyond that limit, and you know, when you can get kids to do that, you know, and for me, you know, like with all my young kids, that's what I was telling them. When y'all can learn to push like they push, then we have a chance to be a good team. But you know, that's hard to, you know, that's a lot of desire and a lot of fight in those kids, and I give it to her. She's done a good job with them. She's done an outstanding job with this program. And I knew it was going to be tough coming in, and then of course, you know, we're having a bad year, and lost one of our best players you know, coming into the season, and so that kind of hurt us, and so, you know, we've lost so many close games, but that was not a close one. I can't say that we lost that one because it was close.
And did you know, Katie said she knew you, did you know her when she was an
Yes, I
assistant
did.
at Tulane?
I've been around a long time, yeah, but Katie was like so awesome at Tulane. I mean, like she was, to me, Tulane was really making the tournament quite a bit, and I think it was a lot to do with her recruiting and what she was doing for their program. So Miami's very fortunate to have her here. I'm just gonna miss, I don't want to come back and play her again.
You come back and play FIU, obviously.
Yeah, we come back in 2 weeks, actually, so we'll play FIU and Florida Atlantic, and I hope we'll do a little bit better. So.
It's an experience for them coming into conference play, obviously, you know.
Right, and, you know, we talked about it before the game, you know, I told them, I didn't talk about the ranking and all that, but, you know, we had looked at a lot of film on them, and we talked about their mindset and how tough it was gonna be, and how we had to be, you know, I usually write a lot of things on the board. I wrote 3 things. I wrote transition defense was gonna be the #1 key. I put taking care of the ball was #2, and then I put keeping them off the boards was #3. Usually I write about 10 things. So I said, if y'all do those 3 things, we're gonna have a chance to compete with them and have a chance to play. And of course, the boards we did, but the other 2 we were completely out. And I think, I mean, I would advise anybody, now I know they're in a very tough conference, but like I said, from, y'all said 1 to 5, I would say 1 to 10. I mean, I think the next 5 that come off the bench are just as, I mean, she's got a lot of depth, And when you have that much depth, because, you know, like watching tape, like even like number 23, I mean, she was quite impressive to me. I mean, she could get to the rim, I mean, and she just bulldozed in there and that kind of stuff. But player for player, I mean, she doesn't have that 1 in 42, but she's got some outstanding players that can come in and take their place and do a great job. And then she's got a lot of height, and that makes a big difference. We had a hard time. I mean, we missed probably 15, like 20 layups. But, you know, you're shooting over 6'6", 6'2", 6'3", you know, and I think we were altering our shots and that kind of stuff. But like I said, they're good. Very impressive.
All righty.
Thank you.